this is a new facility within USP which allows you to specify the output file and the view of the data that you want. We're going to call this a template, and it'll be found on the list view. So here's a group that I prepared with 45 companies in it. And if I transfer these into the list view by double clicking on the target icon there, I can see, as you have been able to do before, the companies with the information that is in the standard view. But now, from the menu here, menu item here, we can specify a template. So if I choose the plus sign here, a window opens which allows me to select just the information that I want to see. So let's, for example, say that I wanted to see the company name, company number, and the I don't know, incorporation date, and then I wanted for 1 year to see their turnover figure for 1 year and their operating profit for 1 year. And I could have picked any of these, including property information and so on and so on. The other thing you can do is you can reorder things. So, for example, if you wanted the company number to be the first column in your system, then you could reorder that out of this this column here. So we're going to call this. I'm going to call it a output example. And then when I press add template, that template of these particular columns will be saved and will be accessible for any list that I view in the list view. So, for example, looking at this view now in the output example format, there's the company number, company name, incorporation date, single year turnover and single year operating profit for just those companies. And I can send that to myself using an email which looks a bit like that once it's sent to me. That basically it tells me that it's generating it in the background, and I will get an email with an attachment which will have the data in that format. So as you can imagine, this is quite a good way of specifying just the data you want and in the order that you want, to allow it to come out of USP, and you can go back to your template for, as I say, any list that you want. Another way you could use this is you could, for example, do an import. So if we do an import of a spreadsheet, and I'll just do this little test here, and I'm going to take just the ID number, the company name. See, I'm dragging and dropping and lining up and clicking to lock them in place, and so let's say the website details. So if I just import from my file just this information, then what I can do is put that in the list view. I can look up, you have to have a company number for this to work, because the whole of USP works off company numbers. But there is rather helpfully a auto lookup feature, which I'm sure you've seen before, which will put in the company numbers for you based on the alpha key of the company names. So now we've got the company number. I could choose to look at that data as in the format that I had set up previously. So there we are. There's all the companies. There's their incorporation dates. There's their first year turnover where it was filed, and first year operating profit where it was filed. And again, I can email that to myself, and then I could match that back up again with some other file. So I can basically take a file with my ID number, have a template set up which gives me the data I want to update on a periodic basis, and then export that data to myself with the latest data from USP. So it's a great way of just taking out the data you want, matching it up with other stuff that you have going on, and and then you can match it back against with using your ID numbers and so on. Anyway, I hope you'll find that's a useful addition.